Venus, the most illuminated planet, and Jupiter, the gas giant, will look like two orbs nearly touching, separated by less than 1 degree in the night sky. Conjunctions occur when two planets, a planet and a star, or a planet and the moon appear from Earth to be nearly grazing each other. But this conjunction is different because of the closeness of the planets. If you were to stretch out your hand and hold your pinky out against the night sky, you couldn't fit your pinky between these planets, they're so close, said NASA Ambassador Tony Rice. They don't get this close very often. But don't be fooled, it's an optical illusion. While it may look like the two planets are cuddling, they are actually separated by millions of miles of space. Venus and Jupiter have been gradually moving toward each other for the past few weeks. Last week, they formed a stunning line with the crescent moon. The two planets will make a slow-motion run toward each other Wednesday and Thursday nights before parting ways until May 2024, according to Noah Petro, a scientist with the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter project at NASA. The last time Venus and Jupiter were in conjunction was April 30, 2022. The next time Venus and Jupiter will be as close as they are now will be on February 7, 2032, according to Rice. On Wednesday night, Jupiter, on the left side of Venus, will be the dimmer globe because it is much farther away, Rice said. Venus will glow nearly 6 times as bright as Jupiter. The two planets will be closest around midnight, when they will be half a degree apart, Petro said. Then the planets will gradually move away from each other. So, if you care to find the two sundown showstoppers, look to the western sky, as the character Elphaba says in the musical Wicked. Away from bright city lights and where skies are clear, the couple should be visible to everyone on Earth with the naked eye, but binoculars or a telescope will bring the pair more into focus. Jupiter's 4 large moons may also be visible to viewers with a strong telescope. After Thursday, Venus will slowly ascend higher from the horizon with each passing night. But Jupiter will sink into the skyline, disappearing below the evening horizon by the middle of the month, Rice said. If you miss out on the specular glow from Venus and Jupiter on Wednesday night, Thursday night will offer one more chance. If you miss both viewings this month, don't fret, conjunctions are common. But you'll have to wait until the summer solstice to see the next one. On the first official day of summer, Venus, Mars and the Moon will form a triangle in the night sky. No special equipment will be needed to view the trio. On Wednesday, the drama that the two brightest planets, Venus and Jupiter, have been engaged in for the past few weeks, reaches its pinnacle. Venus and Jupiter have been slowly approaching each other, and this evening they will be closest together, appearing side by side about 1/3 up in the west-southwest sky at sunset. That favorably places them for viewing for at least 2 hours. They will be separated in the night sky by a little over half a degree, or roughly the apparent width of the moon. Can you find them, first Venus, maybe with the naked eye, then both planets with optical aid, against the blue daytime sky before sunset? No doubt these two brilliant luminaries will attract the attention of even casual people who rarely pay much attention to the night sky. They might even induce some to call local TV and radio stations or newspapers, or even police stations to report the strange UFOs, hovering eerily in the evening twilight. We did a check of Venus-Jupiter conjunctions over a 50-year interval in which the two approached each other as close or closer as they will now, while maintaining a distance of at least 15 degrees from the Sun, and found 15 such cases. Tonight's conjunction will be the best for nearly a decade. Not until February 7, 2032 will Venus and Jupiter come closer to each other, and that will be in the morning sky. There is always a thrill in seeing two planets as globes in the same low-power or medium-power field of view, and this will be possible on Thursday. Wider telescopic fields for this feat are needed. The night before and the night after. Of course, both planets are nearly at their smallest, and will be low enough to appear rather shaky. Venus will appear as a small, gibbous-shaped blob. Jupiter will be noticeably larger, with 3 of its 4 Galilean satellites appearing in a nearly straight line on one side of the big planet. in this order moving outward: Io, Ganymede, and Callisto. For those living in the western US and Canada, the fourth Galilean moon, Europa, will appear to emerge from behind Jupiter on the same side as the other three at approximately 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. When both planets are viewed in the same telescopic field, whether in the afternoon or evening sky, Venus' disk has a far greater brilliance than Jupiter's. These planets have approximately equal albedos, reflecting about 3/4 of the incident sunlight back into space. But Jupiter is nearly 7 times as far from the Sun as Venus, and receives barely 2% as much light per unit area as Venus does. Hence, though Jupiter's disk appears nearly 3 times wider than Venus, the latter planet outshines Jupiter more than 5 times, their magnitudes being -3.9 and -2.1 respectively. Just in case this current evening apparition of Venus seems a bit familiar to you, this year indeed marks a repetition. There is a rhythm in Venus motion. In 8 of our years Venus appears to go 5 times around our sky. So, the difference between the two over a span of 8 years amounts to only 2.4 days. Thus, Venus is now putting on nearly the same performance as in 2015. In May, Venus will lie above the highest point of the ecliptic, 44 degrees east of the Sun, and setting around midnight local daylight time for mid-northern latitudes. For telescopic viewers, Venus will put on its best show from early June through early July, when it shrinks in phase from 1/2 to 1/4 illuminated, while its disk nearly doubles in size. By the beginning of August, Venus will disappear into the sunset fires, reappearing a few weeks later in the morning sky, where it will remain for the rest of 2023. As for Jupiter, each year the largest of the planets travels 1/12 of the way around the sky, or generally one zodiacal constellation per year. On January 13th it began its 6 years in the northern celestial hemisphere, crossing the celestial equator about 3 degrees to the east of the point in the sky marking the vernal equinox.